All right, so get ready because today we're diving deep into a tricky little world. The world of Spanish indefinite articles.
Oh, yeah.
Those little words like some
Some?
and none in English.
Okay.
We're going to unearth some treasures,
Ooh, I like it.
I think,
Yeah.
especially with these words.
Okay.
Algunas
Right.
and ninguen gunangura.
Yeah, those are good ones.
And for this deep dive,
Okay.
we've got a Spanish language learning video.
Okay.
And it's actually created for bilingual speakers.
Nice. So it's like the real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get some really good stuff here.
Awesome.
It's like we've got a secret decoder ring for understanding Spanish.
I like that.
A whole new level.
Absolutely.
Oh.
These words might seem basic at first.
Yeah.
But
Basic but tricky.
But even seasoned Spanish speakers
Yeah.
can trip up on these
For sure.
little finer points.
So let's start with the basics. What do we mean when we say indefinite articles?
Right.
I know they're in English too, but it's good to revisit the foundation sometimes.
Good point.
So what do we...
Okay. So imagine you're at a market.
Okay.
You want to buy some fruit,
Okay.
but you're not picky.
I'm with you.
You know,
Yeah.
You're not like, I need this specific apple.
Right.
You just want some apples.
Right.
You might say,
Yeah.
I'd like some apples, please.
Yeah.
That some
Yeah.
is your indefinite article. You're not talking about specific apples.
Got it.
Just a general amount in
Okay.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Algunas.
Right.
These are your go-to words.
Yeah, for
that some.
some. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I walk into a bakery in Madrid
All right.
and I want a couple pastries,
Okay.
I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah.
Can I say, quiero algunos pasteles?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Got it.
Awesome.
And you see how algunos
Yeah.
matches the plural masculine form of pasteles.
Pasteles.
That's because in Spanish,
Yeah.
these articles have to agree
Right.
with the noun's gender and number,
like adjectives.
just like adjectives do.
Right. It's all about that
Yep.
grammatical harmony.
It is.
Now, the source mentioned a little quirk for these articles.
Right.
Something about feminine nouns that start with A.
Oh.
I remember struggling with that when I was learning Spanish.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets
Yeah.
a little tricky.
Okay.
So
Tricky.
normally you would use alguna
Right.
for a singular feminine noun.
Right.
But if that noun starts
there you
with an A or ha,
Right.
you actually use algun again, even
Right.
though it looks masculine.
So it's not just about the gender of the noun.
That's not just about the gender.
It's about how it's spelled.
How that noun is spelled.
It's like a secret handshake
Uh-huh.
for certain words.
Exactly. It's one of those little details that can really trip you up
Yeah.
if you're not careful.
Right.
For instance,
Yeah.
agua, meaning water,
Uh-huh.
is feminine,
Okay.
but because it starts with o,
Right.
you'd say algún agua.
Algún agua.
No, algún agua.
Okay, so if you're thirsty
Yes.
and asking someone if they have any water,
Uh-huh.
you'd use that algún form.
You would.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be confusing
Right.
for a learner.
It can definitely throw you off.
Yeah.
But think of it this way.
Okay.
It's like a little linguistic shortcut.
Okay.
The A at the beginning of the noun
Right.
already signals that it's feminine.
I see.
So you don't need
You don't need the extra A.
that extra A on the article.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all about efficiency, I guess.
Right.
Speaking of interesting exceptions,
Oh.
this next article
Yeah.
is a real mind bender.
Mind bender. They're talking about ngunoa. That's right.
Our equivalent of none or any in English.
Yeah.
And yes, it definitely has some
Good
surprises.
chips up its sleeve.
Yeah, the source explained that it can be used
Okay.
with both positive and negative verbs.
Yeah.
It seems counterintuitive
It does seem that way.
for a word that means none.
Right. But that's what makes it so powerful.
Hmm.
When you use it with a positive verb,
Okay.
it really hammers home
Okay.
that there's absolutely nothing there.
Right.
Imagine you're at a party
Okay.
and you're looking for your friends,
Right.
but you can't find them anywhere.
Okay.
You could say, ninguno de ellos está aquí,
Right.
which means
None of them are here.
none of them are here.
Right.
It's like you're emphasizing their absence.
Emphasizing
Yeah.
even more.
So it's like using a megaphone.
Exactly.
So really making a point.
You got it.
Okay.
And when you use it with a negative verb,
Okay.
it's like a double negative.
That actually reinforces the negation.
So it makes it extra strong.
Extra strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to emphasize that you have absolutely no money,
Yes.
you could say, no tengo ningún dinero.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
It's like you're saying, I don't have any money, not even a little bit.
Right.
It really drives the point home.
This is making me think about
Yeah.
how much meaning we pack into these seemingly small words,
Yes.
both in English and Spanish.
Absolutely. And that's what makes language so fascinating.
Yeah.
These little words are like building blocks. And once you understand how they work,
Yeah.
you can construct all sorts of complex and nuanced expressions.
Right. And that's what we're trying to do here
Exactly.
on the deep dive.
We are.
Right. We're trying to give people
Give them the tools.
to build
To build
beautiful Spanish sentences.
Beautiful Spanish sentences. I love it.
Yeah.
And to really understand.
To really understand the
nuances.
The nuances, yes.
Because that's what makes you sound.
That's what makes you
like a native speaker.
Like a native speaker, exactly.
Right. And to really be able to comprehend.
And to really comprehend.
Native speakers?
Native speakers, exactly.
When they're talking.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's what we're all about.
I love it.
All right. So we've talked about algún.
We have.
And all its different forms.
Yeah.
We've talked about ningún.
Right.
And how that can be used with the positive and negative verbs.
Yes.
Which is pretty wild.
It is pretty wild.
But there's another little detail.
Oh, there's more.
That we need to...
Okay, bring it on.
Bring to the surface.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah. It really is amazing how much these little words carry.
Yeah.
And, you know, the source pointed out another detail about Ningun and Gunoa.
Right.
That I thought was really interesting.
There's a synonym. Ni un.
Okay.
Which literally means not even one.
So it's like an even more emphatic way of saying none. Like when you're stranded in the desert and there's not a single drop of water left.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
It adds that extra layer of intensity.
Yeah.
Really driving home the point.
Like, I'm so broke.
Yeah.
I can't even afford to think about money.
Exactly. It's a great way to add a little dramatic flair to your Spanish.
That's great.
Now, remember how we were talking about how these articles have to agree with the nouns, gender, and number?
Right. Like, what are the first things we talked about?
Yeah, the fundamentals.
Fundamental rule of Spanish grammar.
Yes. Well, there's actually an exception to that rule.
Okay.
The source mentioned that sometimes you can use these indefinite articles without a noun.
Wait, really? How does that even work?
I know, it seems strange.
Yeah, it seems like they would lose all their meaning.
You think so, but that's where context comes in.
Okay.
If it's clear what you're talking about, you can drop the noun and just use the article.
So like if someone asks if you have any brothers or sisters,
exactly,
he could just say ninguno.
You could just say ninguno?
Meaning none.
Exactly.
I see.
It's like when we drop pronouns in English.
Right.
Because the meaning is clear from the situation.
Like if someone asks, did you see my keys?
Exactly.
Just say nope.
Yep.
It's understood
exactly
that you're referring to their keys.
It's all about those unspoken agreements between speakers.
Right.
And that's what makes language so dynamic and interesting.
It's not just about following the rules.
It's not.
It's about knowing how to...
It's about understanding how to use those rules creatively and effectively.
That's a great reminder.
Yeah.
I think for any language learner, myself included,
absolutely,
it's not just about memorizing grammar tables.
No.
It's about seeing how language...
It's about seeing how it works.
Actually work.
In the wild.
In real life.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
Speaking of nuances.
Okay.
I've noticed this really fascinating pattern I've noticed between Alguien and Nadie.
Okay.
It's like they're two sides of the same coin.
Interesting.
Some versus none.
You're right.
Right.
It's almost poetic.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like it's not a coincidence.
It's not. Okay. Spanish grammar is full of these elegant parallels, which can actually make it easier to learn and remember.
It's like the language is giving you...
It is.
Like a built-in mnemonic device.
It is.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So for our listener who's diving into the world of Spanish, understanding these articles is like unlocking a secret door to fluency.
Absolutely. Mastering these seemingly simple words will not only make you sound more natural, but also help you understand native speakers better.
Yeah, it's like gaining access to a whole new level.
A whole new level.
Of communication.
Now,
I know we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
But I can't help but think there's even more to explore.
Oh, there's always more.
With these articles.
Absolutely. Language is a vast and ever-evolving landscape.
Exactly, and that brings us to an important point.
Okay.
The source material that we've been using is actually just a small snippet from a larger video series.
That's right.
Dedicated entirely to Spanish indefinite articles.
Wow.
So there's a whole world of information out there.
There is.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Waiting to be discovered.
So we've really just scratched the surface.
We have just scratched the surface.
Right, that's okay.
Which I love.
I love how even a seemingly simple topic can have so much depth to it.
It can.
Right.
That's the beauty of language learning.
It is.
It's a journey of constant discovery.
Right. And there's always something new to learn.
Always something new to learn.
Even for those of us
who've
been studying languages for years, there's always those aha moments that keep things fresh and exciting.
Absolutely.
Speaking of aha moments, I think it's time to leave our listener with a thought-provoking question.
I love that idea.
Something to ponder as they continue their Spanish journey.
Let's see.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the importance of context in understanding language. How sometimes you can drop words entirely and still be understood.
Like when you're ordering a coffee.
Right.
And you just say, espresso, please?
Exactly.
Understood. You want a single shot.
So here's the question.
Okay.
Can you think of any instances in your native language where you drop articles or pronouns because the meaning is clear from the situation? It happens more often than you might realize.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is amazing how our brains just fill in those gaps, you know?
It really is. It's like a testament to the power of context.
Yeah.
And how efficient language can be.
Right. Like we're all speaking in shorthand sometimes.
We are.
And yet we understand each other.
We do.
But coming back to Spanish.
Yes.
This deep dive has really shown just how much nuance is packed into these little words, algún and ningún.
It really is fascinating.
They really are like linguistic chameleons.
They are. Changing their form and their function.
Yeah. Depending on the context.
Depending on the context, exactly.
And for anyone who's feeling overwhelmed out there, remember every expert was once a beginner.
That's right.
So
the key is to keep practicing.
Right.
And keep exposing yourself to the language.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn and grow.
And grow.
And if you're eager to keep exploring
the
intricacies of these articles
and
really level up your Spanish.
Level up.
I highly recommend checking out the full video series that's mentioned in the source material.
Absolutely, like a master class.
Yeah.
In Spanish indefinite articles.
Right.
It's fantastic.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listener with a final thought.
Right.
We've talked about how these seemingly simple words can express complex shades of meaning.
Yes, they can.
And how understanding those nuances can help you unlock a deeper understanding of the Spanish language.
A deeper understanding for sure.
So think about how these subtle distinctions in some and none can really shape your entire message in Spanish.
Yes.
Imagine you're trying to make a point.
Right.
Express a feeling. Tell a story.
Yeah.
These little words. Can make all the difference.
It can make all the difference.
It's like having a whole set of tools at your disposal.
Yes.
Each one designed for a specific purpose.
That's right.
And the more you practice,
the
more skilled you'll become.
Absolutely.
At using them. So keep experimenting.
Keep experimenting. Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Have fun with it.
The world of Spanish awaits. Happy language learning.
Happy learning.